I got blame.
I'll go on the back.
Top on me. Top on, he went down.
There's one over river on me.
I'm playing whole time.
Oh my god, you suck. See it. I'm done.
Yo, side door. Absolute talent. There's one bro.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Marshall that quality content, and today I'm gonna be showing y'all the best competitive class setups, which I've done before, but it's gonna be updated, a little bit more explained, and we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna save you guys the time, so let's hop right in. All right, so we're in our custom game, right? We're gonna take a look here. I have it very clean and simple. I have random guns here, experiments, or whatever. You guys want to know more about those, let me know down in the description, because there's a couple things like the stand and the AS44 that you guys might not know about, but they can be meta. So simple. Let's start out with the sub for all my sub players out there. This is the MP40 class muzzle or rifle break. If you don't want to use this, I'd say compensator. I kind of feel like some of the initial shots of compensator are a bit more direct. I feel like the boom might be a bit more accurate. It might just be mental, it might not be, but overall I just appreciate the feel more of rifle break. And if you are one of those guys that don't really mind losing a little bit of ADS speed, flash hider, I just think it just deletes weapon bloom. It's accurate. It's supposed to be like just like compensator, but it has a different feel to it, and I think it's better than compensator. Just if you don't mind losing a little bit of ADS, go ahead and try it. But personally, stick with rifle break, and I just stay fast on the map. Keep it with the original barrel. No reason to change it. That would be banned. That would be allowed, but don't use that. And then this would be banned, I'm pretty sure. ISO 1 or ISO 2. Preference, I prefer 1. You kind of see more around the iron side, and it just has a bit of a cleaner look. So, I mean, it really is down to preference, but definitely choose one or the other because it gives you extra ADS. So you might as well. Folding stock. It's your first one. Sprint to fire, movement speed. No other really viable options other than remove stock, maybe, but you want sprint to fire in a game like Vanguard, movement speed, and it's the best option here. Pistol grip. If you want more accuracy, maybe for S&Ds, or you want pre-aim, maybe you want to play Gabutu with a sub, you can try Carver, but this is definitely the meta. I am giving you guys like little extra tips, you know, things you can use instead of trying to stick to that strict meta if you guys are bored of that. Best ammo type is easily lengthen. No reason to use anything else. FMJ may not really help you running around with a sub, but it could. But the velocity is definitely needed because subs don't have any to begin with. Stippled. I have seen people experiment with polymer, and I've also seen people try out like things like granular or even pine tar, because you can have more recoil control and the hip fire. But stippled, in my opinion, is all around the best. Hit your first shots, you connect them. At that point, you're just trying to maintain your shot for a couple more shots. So I think Stippled is the best. Polymer is maybe more of a Warzone thing where you're holding on a trigger for so long. You don't really need to as much with in multiplayer. We die so fast. Easily, we got brace. Initial accuracy and recoil control. Unmarked is not useful. Momentum is barely noticeable, and everything else is just not really it. And then quick, run faster, get more cracked. As you can see here, the movement speed is 11.4, so you pretty much could get that's as fast as you get. Now, quickly, the pistol, FA stabilizer. The only thing I could recommend you use is maybe rifle break, just so it doesn't really disrupt the iron side as much. It does look cleaner with rifle break, but personally, I just don't care enough. Stabilizer just gives you the 2 accuracy, so it's better than 1. And then the damage range. Lose of hip fire and sprint to fire. It just doesn't even matter, honestly. That's a 175, so it's good enough. Heavy trigger. Anything that has to do with fire rate is going to be banned or GA'd. You don't want to lose fire rate either. That's just dumb. So really, your only good option here is going to be heavy trigger. It helps out, doesn't do much. Of course, lengthen is a pistol. That's not the best velocity, so this helps. You know, COD isn't hit scan no more, sadly. So you gotta, you know, you gotta make do what you have. Stippled, the single fire pistol, initial accuracy and recoil. I don't know if that applies for each shot, since it's simply an initial shot over and over. I don't know, but from my experiences, it's generally just the most accurate one to use. Fleet, combined out quick. Now, Fleet is a little different than it is the acrobatic when talking about Warzone. But this is Vanguard multiplayer, so keep that in mind. Do not use acrobatic, use Fleet. So yeah, no barrels on that. It just screws you more with like sprint to fire stuff like that. But the accuracy is already gonna be accurate enough, so it's kind of useless to make yourself any slower. Of course, ninja class, flagjack class. You could run tag, but not in a competitive, you know, nature. A lot of nades being thrown. You can survive a stun. You don't reduce the damage of a stun if you have tac mask, and it barely lasts anyways. So might as well just run flak jacket at all times, especially when we're soaking up the hill. Keep in mind, flak jacket reduces damage, but it reduces more damage if you're either in a crouch position or proning. So keep that in mind. You have it on a hill, like boat hill, on boat kids, you just want to lay down. If you have your teammates looking over you, your best chance of surviving is rather than just standing up, sitting in a corner. Frag, stun, same thing. You know, everything else isn't allowed. And yeah, this is pretty much all you could use. Now, as for the auto, I feel like this is a little bit more fun to talk about. This is the class setup. Always a sniper barrel, slate reflector, skeletal stock, tight grip, on hand, FMJ. Those should be the same on everyone's class. Maybe someone uses sleight of hand. I believe Kenny uses sleight of hand, but it's not really needed. You have 30 bullets now in the mag, so tight grip for sure. As for the muzzle, F8 in my opinion is the most consistent. I hear the bullets connect so well, but if you want to feel a little bit more loose, you can run compensator. Therefore, it doesn't reduce sprint to fire speed or the hip fire, so it does help out a little bit because the gun already is slow enough for sprint to fire. So it is nice. I do like it myself, but honestly, F8 I feel like it guarantees me the kills more than compensator does, because it does have a shake to the visual, which has just never been my thing personally. As with hand stop, the only other thing I'd say is if you were to run M3 and then change this to either granular, so you can combine both attachments to give you more movement speed, walking movement speed, or if not, stippled. Stippled's like probably the best rear grip to use in Vanguard. For me personally, this is the class setup: hand stop with fabric. You have a mix of the ADS, increase with the hand stop, not really reducing anything to make you slower. So it's just the most balanced one, I'd say. If you truly want the most accurate one out of this, it's this exact same class setup, but instead of fabric, you would be running stippled. Granular doesn't make you more accurate and technically nor less accurate, so this is also good to move around if you want to use this instead. But this one, I recommend this one for rank play, amateur play, because everyone plays a lot more cracked and less disciplined. So holding a pre-aim is obviously beneficial in those scenarios, but you have to get mixy just as much. So fabric does help out a lot. And that's really it, guys. I'm just gonna show you guys the sniper really quick. Outbreak, accuracy, whatever. No really options here. Pistol grip, sprint to fire time, lengthen, granular to walk. Everything else is pretty much just not allowed or pointless because it has to do with accuracy. Fleet and on hand. And the third stock, so you're allowed to walk around corners and peek with it. No sight and no barrel. You can run a barrel, and if you are, use the first one, reduces flinch, it helps out, but really doesn't matter if you hit your shot. And that's really it. I mean, anything that has to do with ADS increase is GA'd. So if you guys don't care about GAs, then go ahead and throw on things like fabric. Go ahead and put on, a better barrel for ADS. Maybe smaller maps like, Tuscan, P1, or short stock, things of those natures. But all that is GA'd and not allowed when you're playing, challengers and things like that. But if you want to have fun, go ahead and use ADS attachments. And quickly, this is the Thompson class. It is experimental. Pros have been using it a bit more in certain maps and situations. It's not really, I'd say, meta, sort of say, but it does have its moments where it could be useful, and people have been testing it out, seeing what it is best in. But yeah, maybe you can have fun with this class. You could copy this down. This one in particular lets you walk around and have pretty good accuracy control. We're gonna hop into some bots and just show you around, run around here. Hip fire's on point. The gun does kill pretty well for the MP40. Has a pretty good balance when it comes to bloom. Sprint to fire time is as good as it can be for it being, Vanguard. Now the recoil, definitely put it down with your thumb a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't really shake. Pretty much hit your shots across the map, but unfortunately there is weapon bloom, so there's only so much you can do with that, right? Luckily, I'm on host shooting against bots. This is my AR class. You see the ADS is pretty solid. Sprint to fire, horrible, but it is an auto. Able to walk around, shoot my gun. And this gun got buffed actually, so it's a 4-shot kill if you shoot high enough. Has a 30-round mag. And it's really good. So I hope you guys appreciate what I've showed you guys. I know it might seem repetitive. You've probably seen it before. You probably already know these things, but it is updated. I did have a comment about it in my past video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I made things cleared. And you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.